Yo, what's going on guys, Duelists here, welcome back to a brand new video here on the channel. Today, we're going to be talking about Rogue's ability Absorption. Now, Rogue is the new Vanguard coming in Season 5.5, and her F ability allows her to dash towards an enemy. It then slams them on the ground and she's CC immune during this animation, and it also slightly heals her during the animation as well. And once she slams the enemy on the ground, she absorbs their ability. That ability becomes bound to her F key, and it looks like if you want to absorb another hero's abilities, then you first have to use the ability you stole, so that it goes off cooldown, and then you can absorb someone else's ability. But Rogue can't actually absorb every hero's abilities. Some of them she just can't. So today we're going to go over a list of all the unique heroes' abilities that Rogue should be able to steal. Now we should be getting the early access in an hour or so you're going to see a bunch of this gameplay then, but this is a bit of a sneak preview for you guys. So starting off with the strategist, Rogue can copy Lunar Snow. And when she copies a strategist, she also gains some buffs, and I believe part of that is also self-healing. But if she copies Lunar Snow, she gets her absolute 0, which means she is able to freeze enemies. Now, as I said, she should just get one charge of this, and then it goes on cooldown, and she can absorb someone else's ability. For Loki, she gets his regeneration domain. We saw this in the trailer, so you can pop down one of his beacons. Obviously, only one because Rogue doesn't have any clones, but I think this will be a pretty powerful one to steal. Next up for Jeff, she's actually going to steal Jeff's bubble, but it's not just as simple as Jeff's bubble. I believe when you use the ability, rather than just popping out one or having a bunch on cooldown, when you press the ability, it will just throw a few bubbles out at once in a fan shape, and then your teammates or you can pick those up. So some of the hero abilities that she steals are unique variants for Rogue, just to make them fit into her kit a bit more smoothly and make things flow better. Now for Adam Warlock, she gets his Soul Bond ability, which again, I think is a pretty powerful one. Providing that healing to your teammates and also spreading out the damage feels like a pretty useful ability for Rogue to have in the front line. Moving over to Mantis, you'll be very happy to hear that she gets her Sleep. So she does copy her Sport Slumber ability. Again, this is going to be a really powerful one to have. There's going to be some insane plays with Rogue. Like, Rogue can be in the front line, she's got a lot of health, and she can react to enemy ults and abilities a lot more effectively than some of the supports could, just in terms of the overall positioning. Next up, we have Cloak and Dagger. Now, I believe it depends on who she actually slams to the ground at the time, if it's Cloak or Dagger. So if you slam Cloak into the ground, then you will get the Terror Cape ability, of course, allowing you to blind some of your enemies and give them vulnerability. Again, this could be pretty powerful as an engaging tool for Rogue before she dashes in and hits you with a crazy combo. Now, on the other hand, if you copy Dagger's ability, then you will get the Healing Bubble, which again is a pretty nice one to have. Now for Gambit, I think this one's a pretty exciting one. If you steal Gambit, you will get access to his Spades deck. So then activating the ability will give you his Spade deck, which gives you a 15% damage increase. And it will also allow you to do the Raise or Flush, which will either do the Explosive Trick, which gives the enemy anti-heal, or the Bidding Barrage to knock back enemies. So pretty useful there, a bit of a damage buff, and also getting the option to use some of Gambit's damaging abilities. And then when it comes to Ultron and Rocket, unfortunately Rogue can't copy these heroes' abilities. It does make sense though, since they don't technically have any powers for her to consume. So instead what will happen is, like with any strategist, when you absorb them, you will just get the extra buffs or bonuses that you get from absorbing a strategist. And at this point in time, I think that is some kind of self-healing factor that you're going to get. Now let's move over to the Vanguards. So when Rogue absorbs Hulk's ability, she will get the Gamma Burst, the clap that pierces through enemies. I think this one will be huge for Rogue, given her up close and personal skills, her crazy combo abilities. She can be right in everyone's face, have this Hulk ability, and just finish them off with the Gamma Burst. So yeah, I think that's going to be a very, very powerful one for Rogue to consume. Next is Doctor Strange. We saw this one in the trailer as well. She can absorb his shield. Now, I don't know exactly how the shield cooldown works. My best guess is that you will have it until the shield breaks, and then it will go off the cooldown. That's probably how that works. Next up, for Emma Frost, again, we saw this in the trailer. She can take her diamond form. This one is absolutely huge. Now, she doesn't get any of the kicks or anything like that, I don't believe. She just gets the diamond form itself, but I think that's good enough for Rogue. Obviously, just like for Emma Frost, this makes you very powerful at being a brawler during this time, and since Rogue's kit revolves around her being this insane brawler with some crazy combos, having reduced damage in diamond form is going to be very, very good for engaging the enemy. Next up, we have Groot, and once again, we saw this one in the trailer. She can steal his Ironwood Wall. Now, the Ironwood Wall does provide healing when you deal damage near it. It also provides CC immunity. Now, one thing I did notice in the trailer, we didn't actually see Rogue get a gold glow when stood near the wall. So there is a chance that she doesn't actually get the CC immunity and instead just gets to make the wall. But we'll have to see with that one. After that, we have Magneto, and if you copy Magneto, you will be granted the Iron Bulwark ability. This is his self bubble, the bubble to protect yourself. So Rogue will be able to protect herself with a bubble. Again, a very good thing to have when engaging the enemy with your combo. But this doesn't give her the Metal Bulwark, which allows you to bubble a teammate. It only gives you the Iron Bulwark to bubble yourself, which is pretty interesting. It would have been cool if you had the option, but I guess it's much easier for it to just be the one to bubble yourself, since it's just one keybind. Next up, we have the Thing, and this one's a pretty interesting one because it looks like you're going to be able to get the Embattled Leap. This is where you can leap towards your teammate, but not only do you get the leap, you actually get the Thing's passive when you use it, meaning you will have the Unyielding Will and be immune to launch up and knockback and other displacement effects. And as I said, this will be really powerful for engaging with Rogue because nobody can stun you during your combos. Next up, we have Thor, and for Thor, you get his Awakening Rune, which allows you to fire these lightning bursts at your enemies. Pretty fun. And then after that, we have Venom, and for Venom, you're going to copy his Cellular Corrosion, which grabs onto enemies, slows them down, and of course deals that delayed damage if they're still stuck in there. I think this one's going to be really powerful for Rogue as well, given the fact that all her abilities rely on the enemy being right in front of you. So being able to grab them with Venom's Corrosion means you can keep people very close to you while you hit them with every single ability you've got. Now that leaves Angela, Penny Parker, and Captain America, who she can't copy an ability from. But you'll still benefit from absorbing a Vanguard's life force if you steal their ability. And I believe when you steal a Vanguard's ability, you do get increased max health. We saw in the trailer, she went from 675 to 800 health after absorbing Doctor Strange's ability. So it looks like you will go up to 800 max health when stealing from any Vanguard. Now let's get into the Duelists. This is going to be a fun one. We're going to start things off with Blade. For Blade, she gets access to Bloodline Awakening, meaning you can get lifesteal. So when you damage enemies, you will start to heal back up, but you will also have reduced healing from teammates. For Daredevil, this is a pretty interesting one. You get his Sonic Pursuit, meaning once you steal his ability, you can press F on a selected enemy, and this will mark them, and then you will gain speed boost while they are marked. And you will also get the option to dash towards them, just like Daredevil can. So this is going to be a pretty good one for Rogue, as it gives you the speed boost to keep up with the enemy, and allows you to dash right into their face and unleash your wombo combos. After that, we have Hela. For Hela, you will steal her Soul Drainer. This is the ability that pulls people in. Again, you can see how this will be useful for Rogue. Pulling lots of people together will be powerful when you want to release your chronal energy in that giant AoE blast. For Human Torch, she's going to get his Pyro Prison. This is his wall ability. But obviously, Rogue can't shoot Blazing Blast, so how is she going to connect a wall? Well, instead, when you activate the ability, it will automatically create a Pyro Prison around Rogue, a little bit like this. So you'll press the ability, and then a wall around Rogue will be made, and obviously anyone inside will start burning. Honestly, that sounds more OP than Human Torch's Pyro Prison anyway, because you don't have to do any of the setup. But obviously, it's going to be pretty hard for Rogue to even steal Human Torch's abilities, given the fact that, you know, he can fly. For Iron Fist, she steals his Harmony Recovery so she can heal and give herself some Overshield. Again, going to be pretty powerful before you engage in a fight. For Magik, this is a pretty fun one. She gets the Demon's Rage, so she can summon a demon from Limbo. But I don't think she can use the Stepping Disc, so she can't teleport. She can just summon the demon if she wants to. This, I think, will still work very well with Rogue's kit, because you're already going to be in people's faces. So dropping this guy to deal more damage is going to be pretty nuts. And it has a pretty large area that it damages people as well. So while you're pulling people in, for example, you can drop a Demon Rage and then drop your ability that pulls everyone in, and they're all going to take damage to this bad boy. For Namor, she copies his Monstro spawn. So at any point, she can throw out a Monstro. I mean, that's just pretty funny in my opinion. For Phoenix, we saw this in the trailer. She gets the Telekinetic Burst, which is the 3-burst combo that deals damage in 3 bursts and also slows enemies caught within it. For Psylocke, you all know how this one works. She gets Psylocke's Invis, so she can go Invis for a short duration. For Scarlet Witch, she gets the Dark Seal, so she can stun enemies, and the Dark Seal is getting buffed in Season 5.5, so it's more reactive and will open immediately when it lands. So this one's going to be pretty nice as well for Rogue to copy. She can also copy Spider-Man. This one is insane. The amazing combo. I just think this is going to be so funny. Imagine you grab Spider-Man, copy his ability, then go in with all of your crazy combos, and just to top it all off, hit everyone with a fat uppercut. It's going to be so funny. Honestly, I cannot wait to play Rogue. All these abilities are going to be just the funnest to play with. And for the next one, we have Storm, and this one's pretty unique because she should get access to both of her weather controls, basically being able to switch between the lightning or the speed, and then activating the boost so that you can either move really fast or switch to summon lightning around you. I am interested to see exactly how this is implemented, but she should have access to the weather control. Now, this next one I didn't really believe, but it's Winter Soldier's bionic hook. Now, this one, I don't really understand. How can she steal his bionic hook? Surely that's not like a power that he has, is it? Or am I getting something wrong here? But either way, the signs are pointing to her being able to take his bionic hook. We'll know for sure when the early access drops, but let's get ready for this because I think she's going to be able to hook people in. I mean, it works perfectly for Rogue's kit. Being able to pull people towards you, there's no questions that that's going to be powerful. So I'm ready for this one. And then the final duelist we have is Wolverine. Now, for Wolverine, she gets a cool combination between his Undying Animal and his regenerative healing factor passive. So when you pop the ability, you should get the damage reduction like Wolverine does with Undying Animal for a brief period of time. But during this time, if you take damage that would normally kill you, you will gain a significant amount of shield, and if you survive during that time, it will be converted into normal health, giving you a second shot at life. So I think Wolverine's is very powerful. You just have to make sure you time it well when you're about to die, which shouldn't be too hard to do. And it will give you that second chance at life, which could be a game changer. Now, that does mean these following heroes can't be copied. We have Punisher, Hawkeye, Black Panther, Squirrel Girl, Moon Knight, Iron Man, Black Widow, Star-Lord, and Mr. Fantastic. None of those heroes can be copied. Instead, you will just gain the Duelist buff when copying a Duelist, which should be a damage boost to all of your outgoing damage. I'm a little disappointed that she can't copy Mr. Fantastic. Who knows, maybe I'll be surprised when the early access drops, but as of now, it's not looking like it. I would have loved her to be able to turn into a fridge, but hey, maybe another time. Marvel Rivals could always update it in the future. That'd be pretty funny. Anyway, that's it from me, guys. Let me know your thoughts on all the abilities that Rogue can copy. If there are any changes by the time the update comes out, I will just make sure I drop them in the comments so that I'm not sharing false information. But hopefully you enjoyed this video, and let me know who you think has the most powerful ability for Rogue to copy. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.